Presently, I expressed no to a few exceptionally influential individuals. I expressed no to Oprah Winfrey. I expressed no to Tyler Perry. I've never met such countless quitters and are individuals of color in Broadway. I've never met such countless individuals of color that have no goddamn spine. And when I heard you go on the air, and you said my sister didn't copy an excessive number of scaffolds, and it's nothing I can accomplish for her now. Steve, do you have at least some idea how harmed I was on the grounds that when individuals say, for what reason didn't you converse with him secretly? I offered him the chance to do that my messages and my calls went unanswered and unreturned, Steve. My family is experiencing behind this, and you all realize I did nothing out of sorts to each and every millennial out there. A Steve Harvey extraordinary is the level of contention. Yet as of late things took a peculiar turn after the show turned sour due to Harvey's to and fro with a visitor that is correct on discussing Monique, who is highlighted on Steve Harvey's show, and truly let him have it about how he was a contributor to the issues the business, as of now, faces, yet considerably more so on the grounds that the entertainer appears to accept he could have taken part in her contention with Oprah. And keeping in mind that such countless individuals are discussing on the off chance that she was morally justified or wrong to get down on the VIP have. On his own show, Mo dropped a bomb that made that not really important need to figure out the thing that is continue to watch. When I went on the Steve Harvey show, I knew the discussion I planned to have with my sibling. I didn't have the foggiest idea about the discussion he planned to have back with me. Typically, when an individual is welcomed as a visitor to a show, they are the ones under a microscope. Yet Monique appears to have turned things on Steve Harvey during a new circulating of his show. Other than ruling the show with her comedic charm, the jokester dug into some industry dealings, including her and the show F, simply to uncover how she got sliced to knees for saying reality. Yet wasn't Steve Harvey that got gotten down on air goodness. She likewise discussed several other huge names in the business, when individuals that appear as though me like Oprah, Tyler, Lee Daniels. And I must put my sibling Steve on the rundown. You all realized I was essentially on the right track some time back when Monique showed up on an episode of Steve the Oscar victor, reviewed an occurrence that had her marked as troublesome, and in the long run renounced in Hollywood, since she requested extra compensation for partaking in the Oscar exposure crusade for the 2009 movie Valuable Now. I expressed no to a few extremely influential individuals. I expressed no to Oprah Winfrey. I expressed no to Tyler Perry. I expressed no to Lee Daniels. And I expressed no to Lionsgate. I expressed no to a few exceptionally influential individuals. Monique said in regards to her position on Oscar battling, she turned into a lightning bar again in 2018 when she proposed a Netflix blacklist in light of the fact that the streaming stage wouldn't offer her a similar compensation for a stand-up unique as it accomplished for other large-name comics. For example, Chris Rock and Amy Schumer. Monique then got down on Harvey for a remark he made about her following the Netflix contention, letting him know, when I heard you go on the air, and you said my sister done copied an excessive number of scaffolds, and there's nothing I can accomplish for her. Currently, do you have any idea about how harmed I was? And when I heard you go on the air, and you said my sister didn't copied an excessive number of scaffolds, and it's nothing I can accomplish for her now. Steve, do you have any idea about how harmed I was? Harvey countered that he figured she gave herself a raw deal with her invitation to battle over Netflix, noticing that it appeared to be rich individuals' issues. He likewise brought up on the off chance that we will blacklist. Are we going to not get memberships? Switch it off. Are we going to go down there and get signs? Monique blamed Harvey and other strong African Americans for not being sufficiently able to open up to the world and say we can't blame everything on our sister, your better half. Can't be the Sydney that he truly is around here. Allow me to let you know that nothing that flexing let me. We have to sex an alternate way we around here in a game. This the cash game. This ain't the person of colors down. This ain't the white man's down. This is the cash game. He told her you can't forfeit yourself. The smartest option for needy individuals isn't be one of them. Ultimately, the temperature in the room descended, and Harvey finished the meeting by promising to utilize his clout to assist fix Monique's relationship with Hollywood influence players. Yet Mo didn't appear as though she purchased a word he said. Well, you can't exactly fault her. The lady has needed to manage the most awful circumstances in the business, and afterward resided to recount the story. You see, Monique has sued Netflix for race and orientation segregation, almost 2 years subsequent to requiring a blacklist against the streaming monster for supposedly lowballing her. In a claim recorded against Netflix in Los Angeles' predominant court, the Oscar grant-winning humorist guarantees the organization offered her fundamentally less cash for a satire extraordinary, in contrast with her kindred male and white jokesters. In spite of Monique's broad resume and reported history of comedic achievement, when Netflix gave her a proposal of work for a selective stand-up parody, unique Netflix made a lowball offer that was just a small portion of what Netflix paid other non-dark female joke artists. The claim says, referring to extravagant proposals for ability, including Dave Chappelle, Amy Schumer, and Ricky Gervais, when she grumbled Netflix purportedly neglected to proceed with exchanges, which would have been the typical practice in Hollywood. Monique's legal advisor, David D. Robertis, said in an explanation that Netflix tried to persuade the court that closing down entirely pure intentions talks, since she raised worries about pay separation, isn't reprisal under the law. The suit further cases Netflix has a corporate culture that endures racial harshness and indecency, needs variety, and comes up short on ladies and minorities. It refers to the disclosure last year that entertainer Matt Smith was paid something else for his supporting job on Netflix's The Crown than entertainer Claire Foy was paid to play the lead spot in a proclamation to USA Today. Netflix said they view allegations of separation extremely in a serious way and will battle Monique's claim, portraying their initial proposal as fair in 2018 while requiring a blacklist on Instagram. Monique addressed why Netflix was able to haggle with Schumer, yet not her. Amy Schumer was offered $11 million, Chris Rock and Dave Chappelle $20 million. Then Amy Schumer returned and reworked $2 additional million. Since she said, I shouldn't get what the men are getting, their legends anyway, I ought to get more, and Netflix concurred. Monique, who won an Oscar for Best Supporting Entertainer in 2010 for her job in the movie Valuable, added, is there any good reason why I shouldn't get what the legends are getting? So no, I was not repudiated, and keeping in mind that she did ultimately win that case, it demonstrated to be one of many obstacles she was to look in the business. Yet what appears to have exacerbated things for her at the time is that her next set of difficulties wasn't race-related. God help us, as a matter of fact, it fundamentally came from individuals of color. She expected to have her well-being on a fundamental level, see, very much like with her, as of late uncovering Steve Harvey. Mo has been attempting to tell the world exactly how horrendous media outlets truly is, and that possibly turned into a need for her when she supposedly got torpedoed in the wake of turning down The Business Monsters 2, or a long time back. The 55-year-old comic examined both the beginnings and flow standings of her public fights with Lee Daniels, Oprah Winfrey, and Tyler Perry in a meeting with the Hollywood columnist. Applause. Everything began in 2004 when she met Daniels. The next year, she showed up in his first time at the helm, fighter in training. From that point, Monique said she and Daniels communicated constantly and as far as possible dependent upon her featuring job in the 2009 movie Valuable. The movie immediately procured basic commendation and was important for the honor season conversation, something that Daniels, alongside makers Winfrey and Perry, needed to exploit. Monique declined to go on a press visit without being made up for her time, and consequently, the break started when Monique wouldn't get on a trip to go to the Cannes movie celebration on the side of the film. She asserts Daniels told her in a call, Mom, I concur. With what you're talking about, I don't believe it will play out great for yourself. And that was an issue. She makes sense of the issue of how is it that this could fat person of color express no to the people pulling the strings in Hollywood concerning why she would have rather not traveled to France to advance her widely praised movie. Monica tells her exactly the same thing she told Winfrey at the time. I said, Oprah, I'm doing a syndicated program. I'm doing a satire visit. I have a spouse. And I have infants. Monique reviews. I have a tad of margin time. And I will make the most of it. So I'm not going anyplace in light of the fact that I'm not committed to go any place. I've done my part. So we commonly settled on a truce. That was all there was to it per Monique. Before I know it, I'm thought of as troublesome and difficult to work, with adding that she believes she was renounced in Hollywood. Because of the circumstance, it was my third marriage, my second round of kids. So I comprehended by then that when you penance everything for a spot called Hollywood, you end up without anyone else. She makes sense of I know the set of experiences. Before me, I know those accounts. And besides the fact that those ladies died broke, they kicked the bucket. Grieved, they passed on forlorn on the grounds that they gave everything to a business. And in the end, it gave them nothing. Things among her and the cheaps, Perry, Oprah, and Daniels, went easy from now on, yet it deteriorated. When a month after the entertainment pageant, Oprah facilitated Monique's family against the comic's desire. See, Winfrey called Monique prior to taping the episode, uncovering that her sibling Gerald Imes had connected, needing to apologize to her for attacking her. When they were youngsters, Monique told Winfrey she needed no part in the episode, except for gave her acceptable for the taping to go ahead. When it broadcasted, however, the episode included Monique's sibling, as well as her mom, father, and different siblings all